Good morning. I'm on a couple of minutes early, but I thought I'd jump on here and wait for all of you to join me this morning. So just be patient for a minute. Grab your coffee, grab your water. I'm on here and don't want to hear me in stereo. I see you jumping in, but my thing isn't scrolling to tell me who is here. I hate this. They're changing the way. There's Linda and Valerie now. I see you coming in. Facebook is changing the way that the live videos are working. Lisa, how are you feeling this morning, my sweet friend? I'm praying for you. I've been praying for you. Lots and lots and lots of us are praying for you. Good morning, Michelle. Anyway, Facebook is changing the way they're going to allow us to do live videos. And I don't like a lot of the things that, a lot of the changes that they're making. So thank you. My hair is a hot mess this morning. I was going to go shopping this morning with my best friend, but she had a migraine last night, so she's not going to be able to go. So, and it's still humid and rainy, yucky here in Dallas, and so it's just going to be a curly mess today, but that's how it is. Good morning, Becky. Let's see, is it 8 o'clock? It is 8 o'clock. Okay, let's get started. I've been debating back and forth on what to talk about this morning. And good morning, JJ. Thank you, Linda. I've been debating on what to talk about this morning, and kind of thought I'd talk to you about two different things. One is where I'm living. That may be where some of you are living too. And maybe if we talk about it back and forth, we can hash it out and, you know, kind of get each other in a good frame of mind about it. The other, and I'm going to start with that one, is I know that some are still, I don't want to say struggling, well, maybe struggling is the right word, with how to do freestyle, which is still Smart Points, successfully. And so we're kind of in a quandary on the board. Some of us are living freestyle and having success with it, and some of us are not. And so the ones who are not are frustrated, which I understand, because they want to lose weight, but for whatever reason, they just haven't been able to wrap their brain around this change in the program. And then the others who are doing it are tired of hearing about the struggles. And then I want to acknowledge, let me see if I can adjust this, and you have to overlook my kitchen. I want to acknowledge that there are some who have joined our group with the intent, purpose of bashing freestyle because they're building another group. They have started a group for people who are not going to embrace freestyle, and so their way of building their group is to infiltrate. Sounds so harsh, but they join other groups and try to lure people away. We're aware of it. We know who some of you are, and so if you wonder why we close comments down quickly on the posts that are negative about freestyle, I've explained it before, but let me explain it again really quick, and then I'm going to move on. But if you post that you're struggling with freestyle and you're asking for input and help, those posts are left open. If you post that you are not going to do freestyle, you don't like freestyle, you disagree with freestyle, and it's clear from your post that nothing anybody can say or do is going to change your mind, we're going to close comments because you're not asking for our help and support. And so those quickly turn into very negative threads, and they're not helpful to anyone. So that's why we close it. It's not to punish you. It's not because we don't like you. It's just that every time somebody comments on a thread, it bumps that one to the top, and we don't want to keep at the top of the board the comments that are nothing but negative without any desire for help, because that prevents those who are trying to get help. It prevents their post from being seen. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, moving on past that, let's talk about freestyle for just a minute, and then I'm gonna get off of it. I was looking this morning at the Introducing Freestyle book. I've been reading it a lot, trying to get it into my system. And I noticed something really interesting on page 8 of the book, where they kind of give an example of a day. None of those meals were 0 points except one snack. They all had point value, which tells me that their suggestion to us is to not live in Zeroville. They had a goat cheese, spinach, and tomato omelet for breakfast, which was 3 smart points. And then they had a snack that was 2 smart points. And then they had lunch, which was a Tex-Mex shrimp salad, which was 5 smart points. And then they had an afternoon snack, which was a roasted red pepper dip at 0 points. But then dinner was chicken parmesan, which was 7 smart points. And then they had an evening snack, which was a quick berry crisp, which was 3 smart points. So what I'm thinking, and we can talk about this, is instead of trying to live on the 0 point foods and fluff your meals with points, what if you divide your points up through the day and decide how many points am I going to allow myself for breakfast, how many am I going to allow for lunch, how many am I going to allow for dinner and snacks. And once those are distributed, then fill in the spots with the 0 point food. If you haven't tried that, it's worth a try. I think if I started Weight Watchers today, and today they told me I had 23 points that I'm given to eat on every day, but I have this list of 0 point food I can supplement with, I wouldn't be nearly as rattled by that as I was having 30 points a day and then them saying, you don't have 30 anymore, now you only have 23. So instead of focusing on what you lost, how about this week, put that aside, think about what you have going forward, and how can you supplement those points with 0 point food to satisfy you more. I hope that makes sense. For us to say we're not going to do the new version of Smart Points because we don't like it, but still expect to be supported in our insistence on staying with an old plan, is like us telling Microsoft, I don't like the newest version. I don't like the changes you made to it. So I'm going to insist on using the old version of Microsoft, but I paid for that version, so I'm going to insist on you still supporting me in it. They're not going to do it very long. They're going to give you a grace period to transition over to the new version of Microsoft, but eventually you're going to have to make that change or you're not going to be supported in it. So think about that today. Just try it for a week. If it's not working the way you're doing it, then try this way. try for a week, dividing your daily Smart Points up into your meals, and then supplement, if you're hungry, with some Smart Point food, and see how that works for you. You might find that that's the missing link. You might find that that will get your weight loss started again. It's just a thought. Okay. Let me talk to you about where I'm living. I was talking to my sister-in-law about this yesterday. She and I are kind of both in the same boat, and here's where we are. I've been living in maintenance mode. I've been talking weight loss mode, but I've been living in maintenance mode. And what do I mean by that? Well, maintenance mode to me, and I hear people talk a lot about how they're scared of maintenance. They're worried that they're going to gain the weight back. Well, I haven't had that issue with maintenance mode, because basically what I've been doing is the last few pounds, the last probably 5 pounds that I needed to lose to get to Lifetime were such a struggle. It was so hard to lose those last 5 that in maintenance, I've been doing basically the exact same thing that I was doing trying to lose Monday through Friday. Very strict, watched my points, prepped, didn't go into my weeklies, didn't exceed my points, just very, very, very aware of what I was eating. But on the weekends, I went into no track mode. I indulged. I eat things on the weekends, not in huge quantities, not in excess, but on the weekends, I relax and I eat. My husband and I are on the go a lot on the weekends, so we go out to eat a lot. And so rather than, making him only go to restaurants where I'm comfortable eating within my Smart Points budget, I would relax, and he would, do you want to go eat pizza? Sure, we can have pizza. Or, do you want to go have a hamburger? Okay, yeah, we can have a hamburger. So that's worked great for me for maintaining. Strict during the week, counting my points, being aware, moving more, all of those things that we do in weight loss mode. But then Saturday and Sunday, I relax. I don't track. I don't go crazy, but I just live. I'm doing great at maintaining there. But if I want to be in weight loss mode, I can't continue living in maintenanceville. I got to move back into weight loss mode. What's the difference? On the weekends, I have to continue doing what I've been doing during the week. I have to be aware of what I'm eating. I have to plan in advance. I have to track everything that goes in my mouth. Now, here's the struggle that my sister-in-law and I were talking. At some point, we get in this mindset that I don't want to have to say no to, an indulgence now and then. And that's the beauty of Weight Watchers. We don't have to say no. Maybe we just have to say not all of it. For instance, my sister-in-law said every now and then you don't want to have to say no to a bowl of your favorite ice cream. And we're all there. It may not be ice cream for you. It may be brownies, or it may be pie, or it may be pizza, whatever it is. We don't want to have to say no to that. So maybe Weight Watchers is trying to teach us that we don't have to say no to the ice cream, but maybe we have to say no to a bowl of the ice cream. Maybe if ice cream is a trigger for me, and Bluebell ice cream is a trigger for me, where used to I would get a whole bowl of it and sit down on the couch to watch TV. Maybe I need to teach myself that I can have a scoop of it on a 1-point ice cream cone, and I need to learn to be satisfied with that. Or maybe if it's hamburgers and French fries, I don't want to say no to ever going to eat hamburgers and french fries, because that's living in Dietville and I don't want to live there. I've lived there before and I didn't like the neighborhood. Maybe I need to learn that a junior size hamburger and half of the order of fries is enough to satisfy me. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. I really believe that's what Weight Watchers is trying to teach us with Freestyle. I can still have the smart points on a particular food if I'm willing to pay the price by supplementing with some 0 point food to make up the deficit. I think that's the mindset that we need to get into. I love the 3-bite rule, Barbara, and that works for me so well. I've just got to do it more often. I think it's all about our mindset. And that's huge in Weight Watchers. We have programmed ourselves to think all or nothing. And it doesn't have to be. It can be, yeah, I can have that. I can just have 3 bites of it. And then I've got to go back to my eating healthy. Because to tell myself I can't ever have it won't work. The minute I tell myself I can't ever have that Bluebell ice cream again, I become obsessed with that Bluebell ice cream, and that's all I can think about. But if I just have three bites of it, and then if I'm still hungry, I go get some fruit. Or if I go out and you know, we're going to have hamburgers, if I order the child's hamburger and I take 3 or 4 french fries off my husband's plate, and if I'm still hungry, I have a side salad. Well, now I've given myself permission to eat what he ate, and I had plenty, and I'm not hungry, but I didn't deprive myself. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps you a little bit. What is the 3-bite rule, Laura? The 3-bite rule is the first bite is to taste the food and decide if it's worth it. If it's not, stop eating it. Get rid of it. You don't have to eat it just because it's there in front of you. First bite's to taste it. The second bite is to enjoy it. Take your time digesting, chewing it, tasting it, savoring that bite. And then the third bite is to say goodbye to it. Move it away from you, ask the waitress to take it off the table, give it to somebody else who isn't struggling with it, or just pour something over it so that it's not available to you anymore. 3 bites is enough to satisfy. If you're serving yourself, only take 3 bites off of it. How do I count the 3-bite rule? You know, it depends on what it is. I try to guesstimate as well as I can, and for me, I bump it up a point. That's just me. You'll have to decide for yourself. You know, I can't tell you 3 bites is 3 points because it completely depends on what I'm taking 3 bites of. But if I look and see that, you know, that brownie is 8 points and I'm taking 3 bites, and, you know, when I say 3 bites, we have to be realistic. We can't say that half of the brownie is 3 bites. You're just hurting yourself when you do that. But if the whole brownie is 8 points and I'm going to take 3 bites of it, I would probably count it as 4 points. That's just me. You have to figure out what works for you, but that's how I do it. I was also looking this morning in the Shift Your Mindset book. Can you tell where my mind has been the last 24 hours? But there's a quote in here on page 2 that I wanted to share with you. And I hope you can get this in your heart this week. I think it'll make a big difference for you. It says, what you think determines how you feel. And how you feel determines what you do. Let me say that again. What you think determines how you feel. I think I want to lose some more weight. Okay, then I can't live in maintenance mode. I think I can be successful on Smart Points, Freestyle. Okay, then I feel like I can do this. The opposite of that is if I think I can't do it, I'm going to feel like I can't do it, and I'm not going to do it. So what I say determines my success. What you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines what you do. If you feel like a successful Weight Watchers, you will act, you will do what a successful Weight Watchers does. If you convince yourself to feel like you're not going to be successful, you'll speak those words into existence, and that will become your reality. So be careful what you say, even on a keyboard. Speak positive to yourself this week. And I think you'll find that that changes how you act, what you do. Joanne just joined. What is the 3-bite rule? The 3-bite rule, one more time, for those of you who just jumped on, is the first bite is to taste it and decide whether it's good enough to keep eating it. The second bite is to enjoy it. Take your time with that second bite. Really, really enjoy the flavor. And then the third bite is to say goodbye to it. Get it away from you. Don't keep it in front of you to nibble on it. I think that allows us to indulge in those things occasionally that we wouldn't normally eat, so we don't feel deprived, but it still keeps it in check. I don't need the entire piece of cake. I don't need the entire bowl of ice cream. I just need a little bit of it. So 3 bites allows me to have some of it without blowing my points for the week. Okay, I've been babbling for 20 minutes now, so I'm going to look and see if I can see some of your comments, and so we can chat for just a minute, and then I got to get out of here and get going. I'll tell you real quick while I'm waiting on your comments to, let's see, wait. Whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Henry Ford said that, and that's so true. Wherever we let our brain live determines our actions. If I'm going to try a fitness class tomorrow. I'm terrified. I'm, nearly 60 pounds lighter. Thanks, sister. Do you have it too? My sister said she liked my top. She probably has it because we shop at the same place. I'm about 60 pounds lighter than the last time I tried to do something like this program. But I'm still terrified because it's so outside of my comfort zone. But I have to spend today and tomorrow. I'm going at 4:30. Hold me accountable. Ask me tomorrow night if I went. I'm terrified because it's outside of my comfort zone. But I need to spend today and tomorrow telling myself that I can do this, instead of, thinking about all of the negatives to going into that class, because then I'll go in with the wrong mindset. We determine how we feel by what we tell ourselves and how we let ourselves think. So I'm going to focus today and tomorrow on thinking positive about this. It's so easy. If you don't think that weight loss is an emotional journey, you're sadly mistaken. I honestly believe, and I tell people this in my classes all the time, it is so much more an emotional journey than it is anything. So if we're mentally prepared to face our meals, to face our fitness, we just handle it so much better, and we're much more successful. So if you're living in Zeroville, if you're living in Dietville, change your address. If you've signed a lease, break it. Get back into that mental state where you were when you first walked into Weight Watchers and they handed you that material and they gave you the app. If you have now dropped from 30 points to 23, or whatever your daily points are, I encourage you to start today over. But forget what you've been doing before. I'm handing you that material today, and I'm telling you today, these are your smart points. But you can supplement with all these wonderful 0 point food. If you get hungry, you can eat anything off of this list and it's okay. But instead of dwelling on what you've lost, start over with what you have. Instead of telling yourself you're being deprived, tell yourself, I now have options. Instead of feeling like I can't do this, tell yourself you can, because you can do it. Because hundreds of thousands of people are proving every day that it works. So like I've said before, if it works for me, there's no reason it won't work for you. I'm not anything special. I'm not any smarter at this than you are. I'm not any more, my metabolism isn't any better than yours is. I'm not any more capable of being successful at Weight Watchers than you are. You just have to convince yourself of that. So be careful who you're listening to. If you're surrounding yourself with people who are saying, me too, it's not working for me too, I don't like it, me too, I refuse to do it, me too, then that's where you'll live. Whoever your company is going to determine your frame of mind. So rather than associating with that Me Too crowd, I'm inviting you to move over to this Me Too crowd. And this Me Too crowd is saying, it may be rough, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to be successful. And it may take me a while, but I'm going to get there. So we have lots of vacancies in this Me Too crowd. So we're saving a seat for you. And I hope you will get into that mental state this week with me. Me too. I've got to get there this week. I'm moving out of maintenance mode and back into weight loss mode mentally. And I hope you will come along with me. I don't want to see anybody not succeed. Weight Watchers doesn't want to see you not succeed. We want to be a part of the Me Too generation that is saying, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. It may be a little rough. I may hit some icy patches along the way, but I'm going to do it. Elaine went to LMS with me. I just love her to death. We bonded. I feel like I have a lifelong friend, and Elaine is saying that Zeroville is not a friendly place to live, and it's not. It wears us down. It makes us feel like we're defeated, like we just can't do it. Nobody wants to live there. Angie says the light is on, so get in the Me Too crowd. I love that. We're going to leave the light on for you. We're going to dust a seat off. We're going to set a place at the table. So come sit down with this Me Too group, because we're on the train and we're going to get all of you who are on the train with us to Lifetime in 2018. That's my goal. I want you to get there this year. And so I'm going to do everything in my power to help you. Everybody in this group wants to help you. And those who don't want to help, then I encourage you to find another group, because this train is going to Lifetime. Deal? Let's do it together. Let's have a good frame of mind this week. Let's get everybody there. And again, I started this with, for those of you who jumped on at the last minute, I'm so sorry. My allergies are just driving me crazy this year. I don't close comments, and I've asked the moderators to not close comments on threads where people say, I'm struggling with freestyle, I need help. The ones we close comments on are the ones who say, I don't like it, I'm not doing it, and there's nothing that you can say or do that's going to change my mind. I'm just posting this to tell you I don't like it and I'm not doing it. Okay, well, you've said that, so there's nothing to discuss. So we're going to close comments on those so we can get back to getting all of the rest of these people who want to get to Lifetime there. So that's the only reason we close them. It's not anything personal. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that if you're not asking for help, there's nothing that we can say. So there's no sense talking about it. So that's why it's not that we're trying to be mean or ugly to you. But we're on a train that's going somewhere, and we got to get the obstacles off the track. We gotta move all that stuff out of the way so that we can keep moving forward. And so I don't have a product for you this week, but I will. I'm going to the store today. I saw a product mentioned, and I'm excited to go see if I can find it. And then I'll share that with you next week. It's got some points to it, but for a special treat, it may be worth it. But I'm going to try it before I tell you about it, and then I'll let you know. I am 2 weeks into the eye cream that I'm using, and they tell me that within 30 days, I should see a pretty significant difference. So 2 more weeks, I'll tell you what that product is, and I'll show you the before and afters side by side, whether or not I'm happy with it. It's not anything I sell. I don't sell you anything. And I don't allow anybody on the board to sell you anything, because we'll be infiltrated by people coming here just because they have an audience of 71,000 potential customers. But I'm curious to see how it's going to work, so I'll let you know. My turtle necklace, my sweet sister-in-law bought it for me, and I absolutely love it. I probably wear it 3 or 4 times a week because it's a constant reminder to me that the journey may be slow, but the train's still moving. So I hope y'all have a wonderful week. I hope you turn your train around. I hope you move out of that Zeroville mentality and get back on board with me, and let's start moving forward. Let's take it one day at a time, Alicia, one meal at a time if that's what it takes, but let's make progress. Let's speak positive into our day, and positive into each other's day, and we'll all get there. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the board. Bye.